last night was just, well, it started off really good, but it just crashed. It just crashed. So, of course, we all know the main reason. Well, at least the mainstream reason why, other NBA fans would see why the Clippers lost. It's because Paul George, he went for a whopping 4 for 17. Paul George, I don't know Paul George was just literally like the worst of the worst last night. Like, I defend Paul George like as hard and vigorously if you see in my YouTube comments, but I mean this one is just he just can't really defend. But I'll one thing Paul George, he did hit a clutch shot. He hit a key shot. I'll give him that. But Paul George, man, I don't know what the heck happened. Like, seriously. But I mean, of course, I'm gonna just I will get on Paul George. I'm getting on Paul George right now, but I mean, one thing I did like about what I seen from Paul George is I guess he did get to the free throw line, but damn, you 4 for 17, Paul George. Come on, bro. That was just not even good one little bit. But the but the but the real thing I'm gonna really get on someone's head is Tyronn Lue. What the heck were you thinking, Tyronn Lue? Tyronn Lue, the first half, you coached like Phil Jackson. You were like, what, like one of the best coaches? You were coaching like one of the best coaches like you could ever done. Like, I was literally like, oh, I was showing love to you. Like, what I've been wanting to do. I've been wanting to freaking support you, Ty Lue. But the second half, Ty Lue, Terrence Mann didn't played 0 minutes. I didn't see Boogie on the floor. Zubac didn't play during crunch time, even though when Zubac played good. What were you thinking, Tyronn Lue? You went small ball, Ty Lue. What the heck were you even thinking? Zubac been be getting good amount of blocks and key rebounds for us, and Boogie also got good boards. He can space the floor. He's tough. He gets inside the rack. He's like a good matchup against Rudy Gobert. Tyronn Lue, what the heck were you thinking, Tyronn Lue? Tyronn again, bruh. You so You coach like what? Like you coach like you were Phil Jackson. You coach like Greg Popovich in the first half. Second half, you coached like horrible. Like even like I'm not trying to even exaggerate at this point, but it comes to like even an average NBA fanatic would have probably coached better than Tyronn Lue at times. At times, I said, because Tyronn Lue sometimes, okay, Tyronn Lue, let's just get this straight. He is better than Doc Rivers. Let's just say that. He is not worse than Doc Rivers, because at least Tyronn Lue, like, he's a, he's just a turtle. Doc Rivers is just a a wall. He doesn't do anything in terms of adjustments. At least when he was with the Clippers. But Tyronn Lue, he's just gonna take a long, long time to adjust. He's probably gonna finally realize I should have played Zubac. Oh, finally, I'll just start Zubac, I'll finally play Patrick Beverly, or I'll finally play Terrence Mann some minutes. But can we also address the fact that Luke Kennard, he was getting cooked like a lot. Like, Luke Kennard, you did good. I'm not gonna really flame you at all, but your defense was just not the best, of course, because Mitchell just kept cooking Kennard. He didn't sub out Kennard and then put in Pat Bev at least, or like if you're not gonna put Terrence Mann, at least put Pat Bev because he plays good defense on Donovan Mitchell as well. But I don't mind. I don't truly hate that you play Kennard. I was okay with that for a moment, but if you want to put Luke Kennard, then put Terrence Mann or put all the defenders around him so that way, he could get helped, and also tell the players to freaking just wing the ball to Kennard for goodness sake and have him jack up the shots because Luke Kennard was he played better than Paul George. Let's just be real. He played better than Paul George. Kawhi Leonard, I mean, he didn't play like a true insane superstar. I mean, he did good. He did good in my opinion. He did his thing. He went to the rack. He played, not like the superstar level expectation, but but you cannot have those nights every time. So I'm not gonna really flame Kawhi, but I'm gonna mainly flame Tyronn Lue because Tyronn Lue could have easily won this game. Oh, let's just not even forget. Let's just not even forget that like when the players were getting trapped left and right, they were like, oh, like they were scrambling. Tyronn Lue didn't even call it a timeout. Come on, Tyronn Lue. You didn't call a timeout, bruh. You could have like had like things like conditioned and stuff, and then get the players to do like the right thing, and maybe you could have say, hey, give the ball to Luke Kennard, and then to shoot the game winning shot, or Kawhi, or even Paul George, because he was getting clutch. Not gonna lie, at the last few minutes, but nah, things were just getting scrambled. So I don't know, Tyronn Lue. I mean, hopefully, I do believe we're gonna like redeem ourselves in game two. Hopefully, and if we're down 2-0, then I will be screw it. We've been in this situation before. We'll come back. I'm gonna be I'm gonna believe in the Clippers, but Paul George, Marcus Morris too. Like he needs to get some of it too, because Marcus Morris he played atrocious on offense, but his defense was good though. But you need to score too, like Morris and Paul George especially. Paul George needs to get himself together, honestly, like getting some shooting repetition and all this stuff. Or like if you're not gonna like be able to like be good on offense, just be like what you did on Game 7, like play really great defense and then maybe try to get some good passes. You could do that, and I was still consider you like fairly good, even though we did trade our future just for you, but I mean, but Tyler Lue, Tyler Lue, I just don't know what the heck happened. Tyronn Lue, what were you thinking? Like it's like literally, he was doing so good in the first half. Like so good. He was putting Kennard, he was putting Man, he was putting all this guy Boogie. And then I didn't see any of them. Well, I saw Kennard, but you didn't put Terrence Mann. Because Terrence Mann, he's like what? He's a lockdown defender. He can slash, he can shoot. You can't go wrong with Terrence Mann. You just can't. And of course I hear some people say are like complaining, oh, why the heck Rondo played during crunch time? But I could defend that because Rondo has a history of being clutch during playoffs, so I don't blame him for that. But it's the fact that you didn't play Terrence Mann with him. Like, you didn't play Terrence Mann, like, when Kennard was obviously getting... Or, or the thing is, you could have probably left Kennard in, and then maybe because, Paul George was, like, so bad, like, third quarter, I was feeling like, hey, why can't you put, like, Terrence Mann in there instead? Because, Paul George, it's not his night. But Tyronn Lue adjustments was just like unacceptable because I didn't see Big Zoo. I mean, I saw Big Zoo some of the minutes. I mean, in the second half, but I did not see Boogie because Boogie he shoots, he plays hard, and then everything. Or like even Batum would have kind of been like like probably better than like low key Morris because Batum like he's a really good versatile defender. He does all the things a team like could ask for, but hopefully we bounce back on game two. I'll just wrap up this video. It's just, it's just really tough what the heck just happened.